This is Nancy Norman with Weekly Wisdom. Last week, I gave you an affirmation that I asked you to affirm over and over and over again. And that affirmation was an affirmation for prosperity. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Remember, we came into this universe financed by God, that all that we desire and require are on the pathway of our life already. It's already on the pathway of our life. Now, we talked about the idea of prosperity and what it means. For me, prosperity means that sense of well-being in every area of our life. That means health, abundant, magnificent, vital health, wholeness, vitality. It means loving relationships. It means friendships. It means success in every part of my life. It means love. It means joy, and it means happiness. And it also means financial abundance. It means money and financial abundance. You and I have to remember that it was God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. It is our divine heritage to prosper, to experience health and wealth and wholeness and love and success and happiness in every area of our life. It is God who has given us the ability to produce wealth. That comes from Deuteronomy 8:18. And from Luke 12:32, it said, "Fear not, little flock. Fear not, little flock. Do not be afraid. For it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." I like to just turn that around a little bit and personalize it. And I say to myself, fear not, Nancy, for it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And I say, and it is my good pleasure to receive it. Last week we talked about something that Wallace D. Wattles wrote. He was a spiritual metaphysician in the last century. And he said this: the desire for riches, and that means prosperity, that sense of well-being in every area of our life, is simply the capacity for larger life seeking fulfillment. Every desire is the effort of an unexpressed possibility to come into action. So God is the source of our supply. And there is supply for our every need. And I want you to hear this. If there is a need for healing, God is the source of life, of health and wholeness and vitality. And there is supply, health, wholeness, vitality for us. God is the source of our supply, and there is supply for every need. If that desire is prosperity in a financial way, then that means there is financial good for us. God is the source of that supply. And that supply is there for every need and every demand. Now, I use the word demand because the Bible tells us ask believing, and I want you to know that asking also means claiming. So what we're talking about here is making a demand upon the universe. Ask believing. We must not be shy or hesitant about making a demand upon the universe. You and I must learn to speak with the word of demand with faith and confidence. In Isaiah 55, verse 11, it says this: "My word that goes out from my mouth, it will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." In other words, the words that we speak, they go forth, and they do not return to us empty, but they accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. And then in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, it says, Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Ask believing. Ask with faith and with confidence. Use the power of the mighty power of the spoken word. What we speak moves out and returns to us, never returns to us void. It always returns to us multiplied. So God is the source of our supply, and there is supply for every single need. Now, I want to share with you a little prayer, and it is the shortest and the most powerful prayer that you can pray. It is said, ask, believing, and give thanks in advance. Ask, give thanks, and ask, believing, and give thanks in advance. So once we decide what we want to experience in life, once we know what our desires are, we need to prepare for the thing that we desire, even when that thing isn't, there's not the slightest sign of it in sight. Ask believing, give thanks in advance, and it will be manifest for you. All too often, we ask for financial good and then continue over and over and over again to affirm lack and poverty in the words that we speak and the thoughts that we think. And we begin preparing for more poverty rather than more prosperity. So rather than preparing for a life of poverty, let's ask for greater abundance of financial good in our life. And rather than preparing for not having it, let's prepare for experiencing a wonderful life filled with prosperity, the riches of life, the wonder of life. And I'd like to give you another affirmation that I think it will help you. It certainly helps me. That every single time that there's a little thought that goes zipping through your mind, because it'll happen, of lack and limitation, I want you to say, I am divinely irresistible to my greater good. I am prosperous. I am divinely irresistible to my greater good. I am prosperous. I want you to start the day with that, to end the day with that. And throughout the day, anytime you feel a little bit lacking of anything, simply say, I'm divinely irresistible. I am divinely irresistible to my greater good. I am prosperous. In that way, we're preparing for the life that we really want to experience. This is a good time to really take inventory of those old thoughts and beliefs and ideas of lack and limitation and release them, let them go, because they no longer serve you. They're no longer yours. Remember, nothing is impossible to God. Nothing is impossible to God. God is the source of our supply. He created a rich universe, and He created that rich universe for you and for me, and He wants us to enjoy it. Again, from the Bible, it says, you shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. And it goes on to say, and light shall shine on your way. So what I know, that light is shining on our way, that we shall decree, we shall ask, we shall use the power of the spoken word, we shall decree a thing, knowing that it goes forth and it does not return to us void, but it returns to us multiplied. What we radiate out with our thoughts and our words and our feelings and our mental pictures, we attract. We attract into our life and attract into our affairs. So, we came into this world financed by God. All we desire and require are already on our pathway. I am divinely irresistible to my greater good. I am prosperous. And I'm knowing for you, you are divinely irresistible to your greater good. You are prosperous. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.